So good morning. I'll invite you all to sit down on the floor in a cross-legged position, something that's comfortable. And I'll invite you to feel uh, the weight of your lower body on the floor. You'll feel the stability of your thighs and your bottom on the floor, and also feel the lightness of your chest. Feel it lifting up. Your collarbone is really attending to some kind of inner movement upwards. And I'm just going to read briefly from a couple of pieces because today we're going to do tapas, and it's one of my favorite concepts in yoga. And it is tapas, along with self-observation and study, and faith or letting go, makes up the yoga of action, or Kriya Yoga, a powerful triad of tools for weakening our mental, emotional afflictions, or kleshas, and moving toward complete attention, or samadhi. So we're moving towards complete attention, which I don't imagine I'm going to achieve in this lifetime, but anyway. So this author, Nicolai Bachman, in The Path of the Yoga Sutras, writes about how change is an inevitable quality of nature, and stagnation goes against nature's ebb and flow. In our body, muscles tighten up, opinions become rigid, habits solidify. And tapas, which is connected to fire, causes heat and thus change, and therefore can prevent obstructions from forming in our body, our breath, our heart, mind. So we're going to just work on feeling tapas in the process of our practice today. And I have a beautiful poem that I'm going to read, which invites us to think of tapas leading us through this practice. It's called Addendum by Charles Wright. Under the stone the lizard breathes, his tongue a semaphore in the blinking darkness. Deep in the ribs of the oak's cage, the owl, like a new moon, appears, poised at the roof of the river's bed. The fish, thinking to rise, resists, fearing this gulp will be endless. Neither the flickering from the stone, nor the owl's eye, nor the rainbow along the fish's side will show the way. But there, where the fire ripens, where the fire is ripening like spring, the path will open, the angel beckon, and we will follow, for light is all. So here we are, sitting on our beautiful behind here, and I just want us to feel our shoulders moving up and back, and then forward, up and forward. And I want us to, if you raise your arms up, palms facing each other, and we're going to stretch towards the right. So we're going to extend our left arm up. We can even hold on to our right hand with our left hand, and we could really sense that reaching up. And now we're going to come back to the center, grasp our left wrist with our right hand, and stretch out towards the left, sorry. And now we're going to come up again. And we're going to just move each of our hands up, feeling our shoulders rise up, both of our shoulders rising up now. And now we're going to open our arms out, bring our hands to the back, clasp our hands, and we're going to just reach over and bend forward as much as we can. And we're going to raise our arms up behind us. And we'll just rest here for a moment. Now we're going to come up, let go of the clasp of our hands, and embrace ourselves with our arms. Wrap our hands around our shoulders, and then we're going to open them up again And using the clasp the other way, the other arm on top, we're going to clasp our shoulders again. And we're going to just wiggle here, back and forth. We're just awakening our spine a little bit and our shoulders. Good, and then we're going to put our hands on our knees and just do some neck movements. So moving your neck to the right, and then to the left, and then to the right, and then to the left. Right, left. Drop your head to the front, head to the back, head to the front, head to the back, front, back. Look to the right, look to the left. Right, left. I'm just going to move it from the right and then drop it down the left. Up movement here. Good. And we're going to just take our hands, we're going to stretch them out in front of us. We're going to pull our fingers back from our wrists on one hand and then on the other. Good. Okay, and we're going to just go over onto our hands and knees now. And do some cat-cows here. This will just help us extend. Now I'm pushing my toes into the mat behind me because I like to stretch my toes because I've got crampy feet. So you can do what you like. So now we're just going to go up into cat rather. And down into cow. We're inhaling when we're in cow and we're exhaling as we move into cat. And inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to move our feet, our hands and feet back into a downward dog. So we're moving our hands forward and our feet back, and we're stretching our sit bones up, and we're going to lower our feet down into downward dog here. And we're just going to rest here for a minute. You can you can press into your hands and press into your fingers and the bed of your fingers in the palm of your hand. And then I'm just going to walk this out with my feet a bit here, because it's my first downward dog. And I'm up on my toes, and then I'm lowering my heels down. And I'm feeling the shoulders, they're like wings, and they kind of open up across your back body. But I'm pressing into my hands and pressing through my heels. I'm pressing my thighs back towards the other side of the room. And while my sit bones are going up, I can imagine that my tailbone is actually quite heavy. And it's actually, I'm feeling the weight of my tailbone helping my feet reach for the ground. Now, they don't have to reach the ground at all. There's no competition. But the point is to give yourself a little bit of heat or tapas, even in this posture. It's actually a very active posture. And now we're going to just lift up, and we're going to move into child's pose for a moment and stretch our arms out in front of us. So this balasana, or child's pose, is a very restful pose in a way, but it also provides us with an opportunity to walk our hands straight across to the right and really feel that beautiful stretch as we inhale and exhale into the left side body. And now we're going to walk towards the center again with our hands and walk towards the left, and inhale into the right side body that's open now. Now we're going to go back to the center. And we're just going to come back up into a downward dog. So this is our second downward dog, and we're going to be on the tippy toes, and then we're going to lower our heels. Once again, pressing into our hands, pressing into our heels, pressing our thighs back, feeling our sit bones moving up, our tailbone is heavy. And we're going to lift the right leg up and bend it and move towards the left elbow with our knee, and then extend our leg back up behind us. Bend our knee again, move towards the right elbow, and then send that back up. And bend the knee again, move it towards the center between our hands, and then back up. And we're going to put that foot down. We're going to work with the other leg. This is good for your core and for getting heat happening. So we're moving towards, with our left knee, we're moving towards our right elbow, and then we're moving it back up to our left elbow, and we're moving it back up. And the center, and we're just going to move it straight up again. And we can bend that knee and just put one hip on top of the other as we are in this kind of twisted position here. We want to feel the weight on both hands. We're going to extend our leg up again, and we're going to bring our left foot between our legs and stand up at the front of the mat in a forward fold. And here we're just going to rest for a few moments. In forward fold, you can put your hands in the crook of your arm and just let the weight of your arms, folded arms, help you or help gravity extend and elongate your spine over the front of your body. All right, we're going to put our hands on the ground or on blocks, whatever you like, and we're going to come up into the half. And it's kind of a back bend when you're like this, actually. It's a little bit of a back bend. And then we're going to fold over once again into a forward fold, and then bring our arms out wide and look up. Your arms are up. And now we're standing into Tadasana. We're just going to breathe here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling as we do a few sun salutations. So we have our feet parallel in front of the mat. We are really feeling this opening in our chest as we stand in Tadasana. And the energy is moving, the bottom part of our body is moving down, grounding us. The upper part of our body is lifting up. We imagine that there's a little string on the tip top of our head that's being pulled up. And we are really energized even in this position of Tadasana. And we're going to inhale, arms up, look up, forward fold, exhale. Right leg back, knee down, inhale, look up. Exhale, left leg back, and now we're going to go knees, chest, pin, and then inhale into a low cobra here. And then back into a downward dog and an exhalation. And we'll just take 5 breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. 4, 5. And we're going to raise our right leg up and bring it forward between our hands. Then our left leg forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Look up. And arms at your side. Okay, inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Left leg back. Inhale, knee down, look up, arms up. Exhale, and knees, chest, chin, and baby cobra or upward dog. Inhaling here. And we're just going to rest here for a moment and come back into downward dog again. We're going to take a few breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on 5, we're going to come forward to plank. And we're just going to rest here for a moment in plank and feel the energy moving up the bottom of our feet and the energy moving up the top of our head. And we're going to you can put your right knee down if you like and turn your foot towards the outside and then come up into a side plank with your leg down, or you can lift your leg up. This is a supported side plank. You can look up at your hand. Now you can lower your leg, your arm, come back into plank, and put your left knee down and rotate your foot to the outside. And then once again, lift your right leg up and your right arm. You can look up to the right hand if you like. And we're just going to stay here for a few more torturous moments. Inhaling and exhaling, feeling the strength and the fire in our bodies. And now we're going to come back, and we're on our hands and knees. We're going to move back into a child's pose. Good. We're going to come forward into plank again, and we're going to roll over into a full side plank here. Now you can put one foot in front of the other, or one on top of the other, and look up towards your extended hand. And we're just inhaling here and exhaling, feeling the fiery, toasty warmth of our bodies. And now we're going to put our hand down. We're going to rotate towards the other side and to the other side plank. We're inhaling and exhaling here. Inhaling and exhaling. Hand down. And we're just going to walk forward and stand in a forward fold here. Good. We'll do a halfway lift, a little bit of a back bend, a forward fold, and then standing up into Tadasana. We can roll our shoulders, give them a little bit of a break, and we can shake all over. This is supposed to be quite good for your adrenal glands, giving ourselves a really good shake in the morning, getting everything moving so that we're kind of spidery. Good. All right. We're going to do a few standing postures because this also helps us light our flame. And we're just going to either, you can jump or you can step out into a wide-legged stance. And turn your right leg to the front of the mat, your left leg in on the diagonal. That angle is different according to our different bodies. And we're keeping our bodies facing the wide length of our mat. We're lifting our arms straight out and we're bending our front knee. And I'm squiggling my feet out a little bit to get myself into the right position. So you're going to feel a number of things. You're going to feel the top half of your body is lifting up. The bottom half of your body is moving down. You should have a right angle here. Your thighs, each thigh is moving outwards, rotating outwards. And you're really feeling the energy move out your hands. Good. We're going to lift both our arms up here, around beside our ears. And then we're going to drop them. We're going to look out to the front arm as though we're an arrow moving in that direction. So I'm pointing east, so I'm on my way to that beautiful cottage that Marianne is at with her family. Now we're going to lift both our arms up. We're going to come up and we're going to rotate to the other side. Our feet bending the left knee out and keeping our back knee straight, pushing into the outer edge of the back leg and inhaling and exhaling. And we're going to look towards the front arm here. And now we're going to stretch our left arm out towards the side of the room, and we're going to drop our forearm to our thigh and lift our right arm over so that there's a diagonal between our right fingertips and the outer edge of our right foot that's extended back. Once again, you can feel yourself lowering down as your chest opens up. Your chest is rotating towards the ceiling. As you inhale and exhale. 1, 2. And on 3, we're going to rise up and move once again into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 on the other side. And we're going to extend that arm, our right arm out, drop our forearm to our thigh, and raise our left arm up on the diagonal. Feel our back knee is straight, our right front knee is rotated over our foot, and we are feeling the rotation of our chest. And you can look up at your hand if you like. And once again, we're going to breathe. 1, 2, and on 3, we're going to rise up and bring our feet facing the front. We're going to do a forward fold, put our hands on the hollow of our hips and extend straight forward. Now you can have blocks here if you like to keep yourself straight, or you can reach for the ground and wiggle your feet out to where it's comfortable. Now here I'm feeling my legs are very straight. I'm pushing into the outer edge of our feet, my feet lifting up my inner arches to really light a fire under my feet. And I'm stretching my arms straight out in front of me so that my fingertips are on the ground. And I'm walking towards the right. I'm going to hold on to my ankles or whatever you could hold on to. You could be up here and just twisting towards the right, or you could be extending yourself down over your leg. And I'm going to walk back to the center, and inhale here, and exhale. Once again, feeling your sit bones moving up. Your tailbone feels weighted. And I'm walking over towards the left. And I'm holding onto my ankles. And I'm using my elbows to bring myself forward and down. Now, you're not very symmetrical. I'm not symmetrical. No one is symmetrical. So it's more difficult on one side than the other. So you want to feel the sukha and sthira. You want to see the ease and also the strength of the posture. We're going to come back and walk our hands below us. You can then extend your back out straight. You can wiggle your feet in a bit until you're comfortable, and hold on to your hips, and just lift yourself up here. Good. And now wiggle your hands into your feet. There we go. I'm just going to all right. So now we're going to move towards the front of the mat and stand with our feet facing the front. We're going to do a pyramid pose. So we're bringing our left leg back a step of about 3 feet. It's a narrower stance. Our hips are facing the front. And we're going to just tip over with our back straight towards the front of of our mat. And then when we can't go with our back straight any further, we're just going to round over and just allow our head to relax and fall down. Now we're feeling the front leg. We can actually put our hand in the crevice of our hip here and pull our right hip back, so that we feel the leg really straightening, and we feel the strength of this pose. And now I'm going to put both hands down, but I'm going to now you can have a block here if you like under your left hand, or you can put your hand on the ground. And I'm just doing a revolved triangle pose, which allows me to turn and face the back of the room, once again with our arm up, and we are rotating our chest towards the back of the room and up. And keeping our legs straight, feeling the grounding of our feet that's helping us do the rotation. And we're breathing here, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. And now in a windmill, a stormy windmill, we're going to just thrust ourselves up and back and rotate around. That's a tricky one. And we feel the energy moving out our arms. And once again, we're going to turn towards the other side of the mat, facing the short end of the mat. And we're going to take a step back about 3 feet. Our back leg is on the diagonal. Front foot is facing forward. And we're once again in the little shadow of our hip, we're pressing in, and we are folding over here. Straight back. Good. And once again, pressing back into the outer edge of our back foot as we fold over. And then we're going to just allow ourselves to relax over the top of our left leg here. Good. And you can use a block here. I'm going to demonstrate with the block. So I've got a block here, and I've just put my hand on there to do the revolved triangle pose. And once again, I'm just lifting my left arm up, pressing into my right, and feeling my torso turning towards the back of the room. And now we're going to windmill ourselves around again and face the front of the room. We can bring our feet together here. Oh, well, I'm a little bit breathless. So I always shake my arms out. I'm not sure why, but it's what I do in my yoga classes. So I think it must be good for my body. All right. Now we're going to put our block away, and we're going to come down onto our front. So you can do that however you like. I'm just crossing my legs over and coming down on my hands and knees, and then onto my front here. Because we're going to do some back bends here. And we need to put our arms beside us, stretch our fingers out. The palms of our hands are facing upwards, and our forehead is on the floor. And I'm just going to lift my shoulders up and leave my forehead on the floor. So one shoulder, right shoulder up and down, left shoulder up and down, right shoulder up and down, left shoulder up and down, both shoulders up and then down. And this time when I lift my shoulders up, I'm going to lift my head up too. So both shoulders up, we can feel, and then our head comes up, our chest comes up, our arms come up, and we're in a half lotus here. If you like, you can lift your feet up, point your toes, feel your shoulder blades come together in your back, and really feel the lovely back bend here as you're inhaling and exhaling. A very open chest. You do very deep inhalations. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And now you can put your hands beside your shoulders, under your shoulders, and just put your head down on your forehead. You can turn your toes in to greet each other here. Just have a moment of rest. Now we're going to slide our forearms forward, so we're in a sphinx here. So our elbows are below our shoulders, our forearms are on the ground, our hands are flat. And once again, we're feeling the opening in our chest here. And we're just inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Now we're going to come down. We're going to work towards bow pose today. So we're going to lift our right, we're on our stomach. We're going to bend our right knee, and we're going to bring our foot towards our hand, our right hand, and then we're going to extend that foot out as we clasp the ankle, and we come up into a half bow here. So we want to press our pelvis into the ground, so there should be no strain on our lower back at all. And now we're going to bring that foot into our buttock and stretch the front of our thigh, of our right thigh, and then we're going to extend that foot out. We're going to do the same thing on the left side. We're going to bend our left knee, clasp onto the ankle with our left hand, and then we're going to extend the right foot out, drawing with it our arm and our shoulder. And once again, pressing the pelvis into the ground, extending that foot out, and then coming down. Okay. Now we're going to do a full bow pose if it's in you to do. If not, you can continue to do the half bow, or you can just rest. We're going to bend both our legs, clasp our ankles with our hands, and then we're going to extend the pelvis into the floor and our feet out towards the back of the room. And we're really opening the chest here, and we're inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. And now we're pulling our feet into our buttocks and extending our front thighs. All right. Now we're straightening our legs out. We're putting our hands underneath our head, and we're putting our head to one side so that we're cradling our cheek. Just having a little bit of a rest here. All right. Now we're going to come back into child's pose, stretching our arms out. Then we're going to shift to the right, onto our behind, and bring our feet out in front of us in Dandasana or staff pose. Okay, here we are. You can have if you like, you can have a strap, or you can just move forward. We're just going to tilt forward here with a straight back. And I'm just touching my toes. And I'm trying to keep my back straight for as long as I can. And then at a certain point, it's no longer straight. So I'm just curving over my feet. Or towards my feet, rather, curving over my legs. And here you can hold on to the tops of your feet if you can, or hold on to the strap. You may be up here, which is perfectly fine. There's no competition here. It's just a question of your body and how it is this morning. And I'm using my elbows to draw me down towards my legs here. And I'm breathing here. I'm using my exhalation as a moment to go further. My inhalation just allows me to draw back a little. In my exhalation, I'm moving forward again. And once again, I'm straightening my back and I'm sitting up here. We're going to put one foot, our right foot, into what is kind of tree pose, flat on the ground, so that our foot is the inner edge of our inner side of our left thigh. And in this pose, I'm going to turn a little bit towards my left foot because I'm moving down towards that left foot and I'm grasping the outside of this foot. You can grasp the inside. You can use a strap again, whatever you feel like. But this is a slight twist as well as a forward bend. And it's a lovely movement. And you can feel yourself relaxing into this. If this were a yin class, we'd be here for 4 minutes. So whether you like yin or not will determine whether or not you want to stay here for 4 minutes. But we're going to come up now. And we're going to extend our right leg out. And our left leg is coming into kind of floor tree pose. And once again, we're turning our body towards the left so that when our torso goes down, it's right over top of the leg. And in my case, you could be holding onto a strap. I'm going to hold on to the outer edge of my right foot with my left hand. And I'm going to pull myself down a little bit here. Just allow myself to go forward. Now I'm going to come up and we will do a couple of wide angle stretches here as well. So we're going to turn towards the right with our feet wide apart and once again stretch down with the other leg extended. And we're just going to stay here for a few moments, inhaling and exhaling. And then we're going to stretch our arms out and walk towards the other foot, turning our body towards that other foot, holding on to the top or the outer inner edge of that foot, and inhaling and exhaling. You can use your left hand in this case beside you to keep you upright. And you want to keep the energy moving out of the opposite foot, opposite heel. So you're really pressing into both heels here. And now we're going to walk our hands straight out, and we're going to curl up and bring our feet together. So here we're going to just work on our groins a little bit. And I'm holding onto my toes. And you might want to put some support underneath your legs if this is too much for you. If it isn't, then you can use this opportunity to really develop more opening in your groin. So I am just inhaling. And when I inhale, I'm pressing my legs down. And when I exhale, I'm just letting them come up. And I'm inhaling and pressing my legs down. And I'm trying to maintain a straight spine. And up. Exhale. Inhale. Pressing down. And exhale. Good. Now I'm going to invite us to turn around and to keep our legs bent. And we're going to work on boat pose, which is very good for your core and for developing a little bit of fire. So I've got my feet out, my knees bent, my toes pointed, and I'm just going to, my arms are straight out, parallel to the mat, palms facing each other, and I'm going to raise one foot up, and then I'm going to lower it down and touch the ground. I'm going to raise the other foot up, lower it, and touch the ground. And then once more, right foot up, extending the, straightening the leg, and then down, left foot up, and then down. And I'm going to now raise both feet up into a full boat pose. And if this is beyond you, just keep on doing the 1 foot at a time. And you want to feel that lovely shakiness of really strength and endurance. And once again, there shouldn't be any strain in your lower back. If there is, you need to come down. And now I'm going to bring both feet down, and I'm just going to fold over and hold on to my legs here and give myself a lovely embrace. We're going to do boat pose one more time. So we're just going to, once again, straighten our legs, straighten our arms, and then feel the strength and the fire in the interior of our body lighting up. Okay. Inhaling and exhaling. 2, 3, 4. And on 5, we're going to bend our legs and we're going to just roll down onto our back. And we can bring our knees into our body and embrace our shins and roll back and forth, releasing from that torturous bow pose. Now we're going to extend our legs out. And we're just going to give ourselves a little stretch here to sort of integrate everything that we've done in our body. So we're stretching our toes and our fingers, every bit of our body. And now we're going to bend our knees, and we're just going to lift our hips up and move them towards the right and drop our knees towards the left. At the same time as we're doing this, our upper body is twisting towards the right. So we have got our arms either stretched out, or you can put it in a kind of stop sign configuration on the floor. And the object of this posture is both on some level deep relaxation, and on another a twist. If you like, you can lift your top leg up and you can hook your top foot underneath your bottom thigh so that your bottom leg is actually weighing down your upper leg. And you can even put your left hand on your right thigh, offering a little bit more weight there. And I am looking out towards my right hand. And my right hand can operate like a clock, like a second hand in a clock that moves back and forth in time. And we just roam around like a clock, our torso with this hand. And this offers us an exploration in the mobility of our shoulder again. We can see the work we've done on our shoulders over the course of the class while we're doing this. Now we're going to shift our hips over to the center and plant our feet on the floor, just get ourselves located again. We might feel a difference in the left side and the right side of our body. We might just observe that. And now we're going to shift our hips over to the left, drop our knees to the right, and you can just stay like that if you like, or you can lift your top leg up, hook it under your bottom leg, and twist to the left. And once again, I'm going to rotate my hand like straight with the straight arm, like a second hand of clock that moves in two directions. If you find a sticky spot with your shoulder, just lift your hand off the floor and in the sticky spots that if it's painful. You don't want to exacerbate anything. So, but this is helpful. It's just feeling the beautiful rotation of our arm and the mobility in our shoulder. And the object of our yoga classes, much of them, is mobility in your spine. That is a real indicator of your age rather than chronology. How mobile is your spine? How fluid are your movements? And I'm just inhaling and exhaling here. And once again, I'm rotating and putting my feet flat on the floor, finding the sacrum, the center, that flat part of the lower part of our spine, flat on the floor. And I'm wiggling my behind a little bit just to move my sacrum into place. And I'm windshield wiping my knees from side to side in a final movement. Now, when we're doing this, windshield wiping our knees, we can say drop our knees to the right and then extend our left hip so that we're actually offering a little bit of a stretch in the front thigh of our left leg and our left hip. And once again, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to drop my legs to the other side, and then I'm just extending my right hip, pressing into my right hip and feeling the stretch in my front right thigh. And then I'm coming back down. I'm going to hold on to my knees, bend my knees towards my chest, and then I'm going to reach between my legs, grasp the outer edge of my feet, and extend the soles of my feet up towards the ceiling, with my knees bent into my torso, outside of my torso. And this is called Happy Baby. And we're just rolling back and forth slightly on our spine, just to ease our way towards our final relaxation. Now we're going to extend our legs out. We can put our feet flat on the floor. We can extend our legs up a wall if we like, or we can move onto our side into a fetal position, onto our front. I'm going to do a traditional corpse pose or shavasana by extending my legs out And I'm going to feel the weight of my body fall into the floor. We're going to imagine that our skin and the mat are porous, and we're allowing ourselves to sink into the mat. We feel our shoulders, we can lift our shoulders up, and we feel our shoulders slide down our back. Our chest is open. We can stretch our fingers out and our arms, and then drop them onto the ground. We can we can rotate our ankles one way and then the other way. We can point our toes, flex our heels, and then we can drop our feet onto the ground. We can lift our hips up and then drop our hips. And rotate our head from side to side. And now we're just going to allow ourselves to sink into the mat. We've had a lot of fiery bits of our class, and now we're feeling the watery relaxation, deep, sensual release. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And I'm not going to speak for a few moments. We're going to have a few moments of silence as you drift in your beautiful, deep relaxation. can feel the beauty of this restful posture for a moment longer as you feel your fingers and toes begin to tingle. Feel your toes stretching out, relaxing, fingers stretching out, relaxing. You can feel the energy move back into your legs and your arms, stretching your arms out one side to another. And on your own time, you can move onto your side body and move up to sitting position. And according to Nicolai Bachman on Tapas, he writes, in yoga, healthy change is necessary for progress to occur. After setting an intention to commit to positive changes in your life, formulate specific actions to take or ways you wish to respond when certain buttons are pushed. Then, with discipline and effort, implement the plan and burn through the negative, harmful patterns. The inevitable pain or discomfort or dukkha will produce a sweet nectar of positive, lasting inner transformation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful to see you this morning. I'll stick around for a few minutes and chat if you'd like to. And I'm going to stop the recording now. So wishing you all a beautiful week ahead.